If you're looking for information on how to earn money online, but you're still not very clear about what ChatGPT is, let me tell you that you came to the right video, so I hope so.
Can I have some money now?
I wish it were that easy, but without further ado. It is an artificial intelligence language developed by the OpenAI company, which allows you to answer questions and generate texts automatically. It should be noted that this language evaluates the context of our requests to generate very high-quality content. With all this technological wonder, one of the first ideas that comes to mind to use ChatGPT is to use it in quite tedious and boring tasks in the corporate world, such as answering emails, creating reminders. Since if you already have a job in this field, it can help you simplify your work and become much more productive. Another way to earn money using this artificial intelligence that many channels promote is to register on microservices platforms such as Fiverr, Upwork, in which we can sell services that can be performed by this artificial intelligence, such as copywriting, content generation for social networks, translations, generating content for web pages or blogs. Of course, this way looks very tempting to earn money, but it must be taken into account that there is a lot of competition on these platforms, so it is necessary that we have a record of the work that we dedicate to these platforms, and we must consider that many people already it is using artificial intelligence to do certain tasks that I just mentioned, so we have to find ways to deal with its competitor. Another very common way to make money with ChatGPT is by creating autoresponder chatbots that are very popular in many companies today. And that task is made quite easy with ChatGPT, since you can generate programming code without any problem. You just have to consider that we must be quite specific with the intention of our program, and we'll be able to offer these chatbots to many companies that require more automated customer service, since this modality allows to save many costs. And the last way that if you are a digital marketer will probably seem fascinating to you is that you can enter data in the ChatGPT console so that the language can analyze the behavior and the needs of your customers in order to generate marketing campaigns, much more accurate marketing, and you can offer this type of functions in your own way to other companies. And finally, a bonus, which I have not tried, but I find it quite interesting, is to use it with Amazon KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, in which we will be able to create books automatically since, as I mentioned, ChatGPT can generate very high quality text with different types of intents that can make the text look as human as possible. And how can I use this chatbot? Well, it's simple. Basically, we enter Google, we can search for the word ChatGPT, and we create an account in OpenAI, we register, we put our data, and that's it. We already have access to the ChatGPT console in which we can simply enter the request we have. It should be remembered that you always have to be very specific in what you request, so that there is no mistake in the response that ChatGPT gives us. We can also download the API to integrate it into other websites or develop applications using this intelligence. And to all this, ChatGPT has a cost, because in theory it has no cost. Signing up for Open today is completely free. However, we have a maximum number of requests per day, and if we go over that limit, we have to move to a paid plan. However, if we come to this scenario, we can create a new account and we can continue to use the GPT chat for free. But I believe that these conditions are taking place because we are still in an open beta. I think that later it will probably be a paid tool, but it will work in a much more efficient way. We must remember that ChatGPT has some limitations. Well, actually, it has quite a few limitations. The content that is generated from ChatGPT may have false or outdated information, since the ChatGPT database is not connected to the internet, so which we must be very careful about the information that we are going to copy from this language. Another limitation of ChatGPT is that no matter how specific we are in our search intention, the answer we get is probably not what we are really expecting, no matter how many attempts we make. And we can understand that this language is still in development and that it cannot be compared to answers that could come from a person. Another problem is that by handling a huge amount of data, it is very likely that it will offer you biased information or that includes some prejudices, for which you must take care of filtering that information, since you will not expect to be censored or banned from any platform for uploading this type of content. If you are interested in this type of content related to ChatGPT and other artificial intelligence programs, I invite you to subscribe to this channel so that you are aware of new videos that I will be uploading every week. And with nothing more to add, I say goodbye. See you until a next video.